All right, a happy Friday morning, September 20th, a week from the start of training camp for a couple teams here, and hopefully everyone is doing great. Certainly a busy week of news, and we've got a Joel Embiid extension that I thought we would do a little bit of a short video just to kind of go through the details of the Embiid extension. We'll start with certainly the news of Woj retiring on Wednesday. Certainly sent a lot of shockwaves throughout the league. I'm thrilled for him. I know he's thrilled with his next challenge, which is the general manager of the St. Bonaventure men's basketball team that he loves dearly. We would spend a lot of nights, certainly during the trade deadline during college basketball season, and his eyes were glued on if St. Bonaventure was playing Richmond or VCU or Dayton or one of these teams. And I know he loves that team and he loves that school, and I am thrilled for him. We spent many years and many long nights, certainly when we started at the Vertical, at Yahoo, and then the last 7 years with ESPN. And if the walls could talk, it would certainly produce a great book of different stories that we went through and everything like that. So it was a great run. I enjoyed it immensely. We'll see what happens next at ESPN, and we will go from there. But as you saw with the Embiid extension, life moves on, right? We've got training camp starting soon, and we've got plenty of content that's going to be coming out your way. We did an expansion mock draft this week with Tim Bontemps, Brian Windhorst, and Kevin Pelton. We did a podcast on it. There's a two-part expansion series. But we're going to talk about Embiid here. So Embiid becomes the 15th player, veteran, to sign an extension this offseason. So far, $1.9 billion in extensions. That does not include the rookies, which is the Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, Franz Wagner group of players here. So he becomes the 15th player, as I said, $1.9 billion. As you see, there's a trend. We've kind of beaten a dead horse about it, that players are extending with their own teams, not going into free agency. Embiid had up until October 21st. That is the last day before the regular season to sign an extension. Why the 21st and not June 30th? Because Embiid had 2 years left on his contract. If you have 1 year left on your contract, you can extend up until June 30th. If you have 2 years and it's a player or a team option, you have up until June 30th here. So Embiid actually had 3 years left on his contract. The third year was a player option. The player option is eliminated in this extension, and it's replaced with a new salary. So Embiid's player option was at $59 million. It gets replaced with $59.5 million. So when you look at it in the totality, the number that he's extending for is 3 years, $192.9 million. It's actually $134 million, because you have to assume that the likelihood is that he was going to opt into that player option, since it's already guaranteed money, and then you tack on 2 more years left on the 2 more years of the extension here. So it's a total of $134 million in new money tacked onto the 3 years that he had guaranteed here. In total, $299.5 million is owed to Joel Embiid over the next 5 years. It's probably one of the most fascinating kind of trajectories where Embiid was, certainly coming out of Kansas, the injuries. I remember when Woj and I got the contract, I think this was in 2017. Maybe this might have been our first year at ESPN. We got the contract. We wrote a big newser on it. And there was so much protection. It was kind of like the gold standard of contracts. If you're looking to kind of put protection based on a player, if you're looking to reward a player on a max deal, but also protect yourself, similar to probably what happened with Zion Williamson in New Orleans, and all the different layers. Basically, Embiid had to hit all these different benchmarks to stay healthy for the contract to become fully guaranteed, and it was a get-out-of-jail-free card in case he didn't stay healthy and Philadelphia could waive him. And now, since that, he signed that rookie max extension, he signed a super max extension, and now he signed this new extension here. So he's got guaranteed on-court career earnings is $515 million. It's fourth all-time. LeBron, Steph Curry, Paul George. I left Paul George out of the original one when we did Steph Curry a few months ago. And then Kevin Durant. We'll see what happens with Kevin Durant, who's also extension eligible for 1 year at $59.5 million. Durant would basically kind of leapfrog all those guys and go to, I think, number 2 on the list here. So $515 million in career on-court earnings between Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid. 3 players that are locked up in the near future. Philadelphia is responsible for $715 million in salary. When you look at the contract in itself, there's a player option in the last year. There's a ton of money that's deferred in it. I don't want to call it the Bobby Bonilla contract, but there is a lot of money that is deferred into the future. We'll see what else is kind of included in there as far as any little bells and whistles that might be interesting that's not been reported yet. We have not seen, we have not seen the contract yet. We just kind of reported on it. Ramona reported on it. Tim Bontemps reported on it. There's a story up. So $299.5 million is owed to him. $134 million in new money. We'll see. Listen, Philadelphia, when you go out and spend money on Paul George and Caleb Martin, and you basically revamp your team, you have a 3-year window to compete for a championship. So that is it on the Embiid extension. We will talk soon. Hopefully everyone has a great day.